song from Aladdin, don't we? Never had a friend like me that can do all these amazing things. And I've loved our theme for the whole month. It's the Aladdin Factor. It's a book by my friends, Mark Victor Hansen, who used to come and speak for me at my San Diego ministry when I had to be away. And this was before he was really not that well known, pretty well known, but not that well known, and would go and speak in the various New Thought churches and centers with his universal message, and it is a universal message. So he and Jack Canfield, and I want to remind you that Jack Canfield was an elementary school teacher. He wrote a book called 101 Ways to Teach Self-Esteem in the Classroom, and really cared deeply about our children as the future of the planet, and had some amazing things happen to him. They wrote this book called The Aladdin Factor. It was about teaching people how to ask for what they want. And when we learn to ask for what we want, our whole universe absolutely expands in amazing ways. So today is Valentine's Day. And so our topic today is the courage to really declare our love, to declare our love for each other, for our spouses, our husbands, our wives, and to acknowledge that we are drawn together through our similarities, aren't we? And we grow through our differences. And as we grow through those differences, there is an interesting shift that takes place because we begin to expand our own energy field. And not everyone, excuse me, has to come together in agreement. You know, it's nice, it's wonderful, we love it. The Course in Miracles states that everyone that comes into our energy field is either our lover or our teacher. And our lovers love us, don't they? They affirm us, they declare us, we're wonderful, they're our cheerleaders, they're our fans, they're out there. And our teachers may be rather critical of us. And what I know is that when I hear things, and you can imagine I've been in public life for 50 years, hear things about myself. If it fits, then I make an adjustment within myself. If it doesn't, I laugh it off because people oftentimes project where they are. Not always, but if someone comes up to you very caringly and shares with you something in our lives that will forward and advance our own consciousness, then that is to be received. That's done in love. And I do not believe in constructive criticism whatsoever. I believe in positive suggestions. And when someone has a caring, positive suggestion energetically, that allows us to feel the caring and the comfort and the energy of having relationships. So when we have the courage to declare our love, when we have the courage to acknowledge that this love within us is really universal agape love, spilling over into everyone in our energy field. This relationship may be our intimate relationship. I was married to Neil Stroud, and as you know, he passed away after 12 years. He had cancer, and our daughter was 7. I was 32, and he was 34. And when people would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that your husband passed away," I would say more than my husband, he was my best friend. And to have that ground of being a friendship in a romantic relationship is powerful. And you grow, and it's the adventure of life. Where in Aladdin, where Princess Jasmine came together with Aladdin, he wanted to be a prince because he wanted to be accepted by her. And didn't you love in Disney's version of Aladdin when Will Smith plays the genie and he says, I can change you on the outer. You can look like a great prince with palaces, but you're still going to be you on the inside. Now, that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, was it? Because Aladdin was very caring, very loving, but he had low self-esteem. So he, put on the clothes. But inwardly feeling that he wasn't enough, and he had to move into the energy and his own power of realizing it really is about the heart. It's not about all this outer stuff. We can have all the things in the world, but if we are not feeling it in our heart, if we can't feel it, we can't heal it, right? So it's about the heart energy, and it's about making the longest journey on the planet, right? The 18-inch journey from the head to the heart. Heart being the doorway to the soul, the seat of the soul, as Gary Zukav said. And so when my husband was in the hospital and he was getting ready to transition, and he was really very lucid. And he said, "Who are those two beautiful women standing on each side of you?" And I said, "No, there's no one standing on either side of me." And then I got it. It was like the light bulb. I said, "Oh, those are your guardian angels, and they've come to take you home." And then we had this amazing relationship. We had a lot of humor in our relationship. And I said, "You haven't even left yet, and you're going out on me already." Right? And he passed the next day. So what I know is that we're in a pandemic. People have transitioned. They've left the planet in a collective consciousness. And in the Japanese tradition, the Shinto tradition, they call it a mitama, where those on the other side send energy into the earth plane. And as they send energy into the people that they loved and into their inner circle, that we can feel that. It's like, I can't see you, but I know you're here. I feel it at the very deepest level. So what we're doing is there's a divine marriage. I love, Kay Schreiber was sharing a story about how her husband, she was renting a room in her home in San Diego. And that she said, I liked him. He was a friend. And he came, into my home. And we discovered that, we liked each other. And the ground of being really is friendship. And that as the friendship grew, the love grew and the energy grew. And that Alex was with us for many, 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 many years. And they were married for almost 30 years. And he transitioned 2 years ago in February. And I remember the 2 years ago, it was Kay's birthday. And he said to me, that little gal just gives her all. And Alex was 93. I mean, he was amazing. And this love and admiration that he could see in his wife, that this little gal just gives her all, and that he was out there rooting for her. And when we know that our mates, and that in my congregation, probably 90% of my congregation is gay. So whether it's a same-sex relationship or it's a heterosexual relationship, it doesn't matter, because these dynamics are the same. Love is love, isn't it? And love being the strongest power in the universe. And so as we open the space of love, it's wonderful that when we find that soulmate relationship, and I have friends that are also my soulmates, that we come together. We've been together, I believe, many lifetimes. I've met many of my Facebook friends. I was presenting in Cambridge, England, and beautiful Carla Holiday, had me stay with her in Bath, England for 5 days, and then drove me to Cambridge. And I told her, this is not a first time meeting. It is a joyful reunion of souls who have been on the planet many, many, many times. And then when I was speaking in Istanbul, I met Lau. And Lau is a beautiful energy. And she came to hear me speak, and then she gave me this amazing tour of Istanbul. So wherever I've been in the world, it's not a first time meeting. It's a joyful reunion of souls who have been on the planet many, many, many lifetimes. And so we come together with this energy that we declare our love. And it's first, what? Love thy neighbor as what? Thyself. Thyself. So Jesus gave the commandment that to love thy neighbor as thyself, which was what? Presupposing that we love ourselves. I taught self-image psychology for years at the university level as an elective. And our self-image will draw in those that are unfit. Business. And I was an adult child of growing up in an alcoholic home. And after Neil Stroud passed away, I had a relationship. He was the assistant mayor of San Diego. And he was an unhealed adult child of an alcoholic as well. So we had all this unfinished business. And as the assistant mayor, we would go and we would meet a lot of people. And it was, very exciting. And I had 3,000 people in my congregation coming every week in San Diego. So these were very, very exciting times. And then what happened is that our relationship, and I married him, and he was very, very jealous and insecure. Now, we did not know about ACA issues in that day. And so I was really working on myself and, knowing that I, drew this person in because I had unhealed issues in my family life. And we even went to see the city psychiatrist. And as my husband got up to go to the restroom, the city psychiatrist said, Sharron, what I know is you have a life's work. If you stay married to him, he will become your life's work. So I got it. It was like an aha moment that I had drawn someone in. We went through a 3-year thing in court. I mean, it was outrageous. And my board president was an attorney. And we were in the court, and, he stole a lot of my things. I mean, just things that were very sentimental that I had with Neil Stroud that were very, very dear to me. And what was so fascinating was that my board president said, Sharron, is it really worth all this? And I said, well, he wants half of everything I've got. She said, give it to him. Give it to him to be free. We've been going through this for 3 years. Just give it to him. And I said, all right. So everything that, that came up, I said, yes, you can have it. You can have it. You can have it. Now I'm a minister. He's like this. He's a powerful man in the San Diego, La Jolla area. And, going through all this, and I let it go, because what I got was, yes, that these were material things, and some of them were very precious to me, and it was my money. And I just let it go. And what money I received from our home in Rancho Bernardo, I paid down in a home in Coronado, and bought a home on the ocean in Coronado in the day when you could get a home in Coronado on the ocean for $270,000. I got right under the wire. I sold it for $500,000, and now my daughter says they're up for sale for like 2.1 million, on the ocean. So when we let go and let God, there's another energy that comes in. And then John Bradshaw was in San Diego, so I had him come and speak to our spiritual center about adult children of alcoholics and healing these issues, these very deep, deep issues that, I was the driven one. I was the overachiever. If I didn't, do 200%, then it wasn't acceptable. And my sister, who took her own life, she became the alcoholic and the addict. And so you can have, children from one home, and what path they take depends on how they feel about themselves. So my intention was to grow and to unfold. And as my intention opened, then I had a healing. I had an amazing healing. And it didn't come about until we sold our church because we outgrew it, and we bought a church up on a hill in off of the 163, so that 1,000 people of service. We had 3 services. And as I was coming in on a Sunday morning, and rounding the corner, I saw this big sign, and it was my former politician husband, and it was running for Congress. And right on the corner of our church property, where I'm making the turn in, is his great big old sign that he's running for Congress and to vote for him. Well, still, was healing and from the situation of being married to someone that was so really unreasonable, and that even though I gave it all away and I had a better situation, I still had inner stuff to work on. And when I saw that sign, I got out of the car. I slammed the car door. Now I'm, on a corner, and there's a lot of traffic. And I got out, and I saw that sign, and I just took the sign like this, and I just, and finally it fell, and I went, Then I went in and gave the best presentation on unconditional love I'd ever given. And then in the middle of my presentation, I said, a funny thing happened on the way to the church. And I shared the story. How I stomped that sign. And I said, so I guess I have more work to do. And when we acknowledge that we have more work to do, and that the healing process is all part of why we bring some of our soulmates when we have unfinished business. As I did love him, but his behavior was over the top, all of that insecurity. And then I invited him to my 50th birthday party, and he was on wife number 4. And he told my mother that she was, we were 2 days apart in birthdays. And even though I was the more beautiful one, she was very sweet and demonstrated my sweet side. And I told my mother, well, maybe she was the yes person, yes, dear, yes, dear. So we got a good laugh over that. And he was there. And I said, I am just so happy that you came. And he said, I wouldn't have missed it. I've always loved you. And though we couldn't make it work in a marriage, we can be friends. And I said, yes, we can. I've always admired you. And he had wonderful traits. And so when we heal this, we are the benefactors. We deepen the quality of our lives. So the courage to declare our love, and that there are no mistakes. People say, boy, was that ever a mistake? No, these are experiences that we need to heal, to unfold, to be all that we can be. And as we allow ourselves to heal those dark places inside of us that we've nurtured and we've taken into that energy field that doesn't serve, when we shine the light on it, we become whole, perfect, and complete in the recognition that there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are. And we can not only use it, we are using it every single day of our lives. So here we are, we're the Lunar New Year. And I thank you, Claudia, it was so beautifully expressed, to come together and the recognition that, yes, we're opening. Every single day is an opportunity to open to the truth that sets us free to be who and what we are. And that, this Valentine's Day, St. Valentine's Day, I wore my stole today just to acknowledge that this is a day of universal love. And that wherever we are in the world, Valentine's is celebrated. And tomorrow is President's Day. And we bless every president that has served that office in acknowledging that our country, God bless America, our country is our country that we love. And so as we open to what needs to be healed, what needs to be revealed, what needs to be known, then we grow as what? A collective consciousness in a nation that moves out to the global community. And isn't it interesting and amazing that this pandemic is global, isn't it? And I was asked to write to co-author a book about the pandemic, about how have you handled it, the lockdown. And I wrote in this chapter in the book, and I want to acknowledge Ada Gardeman, from pandemonium to peace. In other words, all this pandemonium in the pandemic is over here, and here's peace. So when we close that gap and we acknowledge with Jesus the Christ, my peace I give to you, my peace I leave with you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. You believe in God. Believe also in your own Christ consciousness, your Buddha nature, the holy I am presence, that when Moses looked into the burning bush and said, who are you, what are you? The voice of I am answers and said, cast off your shoes. And at the Rose of Sharron sanctuary, we've all cast off our shoes in this sanctuary. For where you stand is holy ground. Where you stand is holy ground. So to have the courage to declare our love, to realize that, you know, some of us have been together with our mates and partners for many, many, many years. I love it. Others come together to learn something. And then what? It absolutely goes the other way and moves, and it changes form. Relationships change form, don't they? They certainly do. So I'm going to leave you with my very favorite poem by Emmett Fox. There is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer, no disease that enough love will not heal, no door that enough love will not open, no gulf that enough love will not bridge, no wall that enough love will not throw down, no sin that enough love will not redeem. It makes no difference how deeply seated may be the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If only you could love enough, you would be the strongest, most powerful being in the world. So I say to you, namaste. We're all on a path and we're going somewhere. And I say to my in-house audience, where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. We are in a high place and we will not come down. None of these outer things move us. We are in a high place and we will not come down. Namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you. Shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. And God bless us, everyone. Know that I love you. I wish you all the happiest Valentine's Day. And we're going to move into our beautiful, the Reverend Prince Fleet Easton, who is going to sing the most wonderful song. And we're so blessed. So take it away.